Hey guys, and welcome to my hospital bag vlog. It's super funny. When I was laying everything out, getting ready to film, I noticed what a classic overpacker I am. But I'm totally one of those people that it's just can never be too prepared kind of thing. So some of the things that I put in my bag, you may not put in yours or may not want to. Also, obviously the bags are slightly season dependent. For mine is like a summer baby. So my clothing choices, etc., may be different from yours. Yeah, so that's kind of something you're going to want to keep in mind when you're doing it. I will also upload the entire list so you guys can just go through and check off on your list as you go. As most of you know, if you follow me on here, you know that we're actually having a planned home birth for this baby, and we did with our last baby, but our first 3 are hospital births. And I do always pack a hospital bag anyways and have it ready during home births in case something does go south, we have to go in. Not everyone does that. A lot of people are more like manifest positivity, and that's kind of how it'll go. But for me, the idea of having to go in and not having anything packed is super chaotic and gives me anxiety. So I always have something packed anyways. But some of the stuff I'll be taking back out because I need it out for my home birth. I think I have everything here. There's one thing I know for this bag in particular that I don't have yet. So I'll just make note. So to start, I always do 2 different bags. So I do a bag for me and then I do a bag for baby. And for Jay's stuff, kind of just gets thrown in the top of my bag. He usually only has like a change of clothes, 2 pairs of underwear, socks kind of thing. Whereas obviously mine's a bit more expensive. But I always have 2 bags just because I can't fit everything in one, and I actually like having them separated so I can easily go and grab something out of baby's bag or out of my bag in the hospital for convenience. I also always, once I have everything together, I actually organize my bag in reference of what I'm going to need first. So things that I'm going to need last, I keep on the bottom, but for timing's sake, etc., I'm not going to bother doing that today. I'm just going to kind of put it in how it fits. So you guys can let me know if you have any questions or anything I forgot. I think I remembered everything. But we'll see as we go. So my hospital bag is always this duffel bag. I've actually been using this one, I believe, since Skylar. I'm sure some of you have nicer bags than I do. Like, I really wanted a Fawn Design weekender bag, but this is what I got. So I've used this every single time. It's big, it's spacious, it has multiple pockets. Highly ideal. So the first thing that we'll go through that you're going to need is you're going to need whatever it is that you're prepping to have during labor. So if you're planning on having a birth ball, you're going to want to bring your birth ball. Most hospitals do have birth balls, but I always have my own. So I do bring my birth ball, and then whatever you're seeing yourself laboring in. So for myself, I always ideally labor in Lululemon shorts that are really loose, like just loose fitted ones, and a black sports bra. That's been my labor outfit for the last like 3 babies, I think. And that's just always worked for me. And then I will have on whatever clothes I have on over top. So usually how I do it is when I go into labor, I actually switch into my shorts, my sports bra, and then I put my clothes back over top for going to the hospital, etc. So just loose fitted clothes for that. But so anyways, that's what I have for like my labor type outfit. So then for clothing that I pack for the hospital, so first off, if we're going to go through it in like order, so immediately after birth, I'm going to want a easy postpartum type outfit. So something that's going to be comfortable, loose fitting, and most importantly, nursing friendly. So I always bring a few options. So I mean, I have this awesome nursing shirt from Social Latch that has direct nursing access. Then I have this loose fitted tank that is also easy nursing access. So that's for my shirt. And then I also always bring a pair of shorts, which are loose fitted immediately after birth. You don't want anything tight on you at all. So I have loose fitted, like cotton shorts, and then I have just some Root sweatpants. I always bring both. I'm a huge temperature person. I can't stand being too hot or too cold, so I always bring multiple options for heat, etc. So sweatpants, shorts, and nursing accessible tops. I always bring 2. So I brought like my long sleeve one, and then I brought my tank top. I always have a like thick, big hoodie type thing. This actually, it's not a hood, but it's a sweater for same reason, because I can't stand if I'm cold, so I always bring one of those. And then super, super important is having a house coat or a robe. So this is my Row Kids robe, which is perfect for a hospital bag because it's tensile modular, so you're not going to get too hot and you're not going to get cold in it. So that's huge. I'm really excited about having that this time. So bring a robe for sure, and a sweater, both of which can't recommend enough. So I also always bring, well, since I've had it, which is the last 2 babies, a Smash and Test romper. So the way I plan it is, even if I have hospital births, I usually go home within a few hours because they're drug free. I don't need to stay for the 24 hours. If you have an epidural, you usually have to stay 24 hours, but always prep for complications or something like that. So after Skylar, I had to have a urinary catheter in for 12 hours, so I had to stay overnight. Mason, I was GPS positive and I denied meds, so I stayed overnight for him. So I always prepare to potentially have to stay for a full 24 hours. If you're having a planned C-section, I would recommend staying for 2 to 3 days, so you're going to kind of double everything I'm doing. And if you're a first timer, you don't know, you may want to bring extra in case, but I mean, you can always send someone out to get you more clothes, right? That's kind of the way I look at it. But anyway, so I always bring a romper, a Smash and Test. Okay, so that kind of covers the basics of the clothes. So let's kind of just go over that and discuss what that all is again. So I always bring sweatpants and I always bring shorts. Loose fitted, those are for immediate postpartum and just for comfort and lounging around. Then I always bring at least 2 shirts, both of which are easy nursing access. I always bring a sweater in case it gets cold, always a robe for both laboring and postpartum. And then I always bring a Smash and Test romper as well. Also, I always bring pajamas. So nursing accessible pajamas, and I always tend to pack light pajamas because I can sleep with a sweater over top if I need to, but if I'm hot, I'm not going to want thick ones, so I always bring light ones for that. So I always bring 3 to 4 pairs of postpartum underwear. So postpartum underwear are something that's so particular. Everyone's different. I personally love these really crappy Jones ones. They're like huge, but the reason I like them is there's like next to no band in it. It has elastic, so it does like it. I don't know how to explain it. Sorry, it doesn't have a built-in like little elastic in it that's gonna dig into you. These don't dig into you at all. They're just like huge and just kind of sit there. So anyways, I always bring 3 or 4 of those. Most hospitals will provide you with a pair of like the mesh underwear for immediate postpartum. But anyways, I always bring these because I don't want to live in the mesh ones. I like to feel human at some point in time. So you're going to bring an extra bra. Always bring one that, if you're thinking ahead, it's going to be one for ideally nursing accessible, but also your boobs are going to be super engorged. So a bigger one, and ideally one that's comfortable, just be cute. I always bring 2 different kinds of socks. So for me, it's sandal weather, so I'm going to be wearing sandals, but I always bring socks anyways. So like a regular pair of socks and then warm, cozy socks. So if it's cold, they usually have the AC on pretty decent in the hospital, I find. So I always want cozy socks to keep in there. So on the topic of shoes, I always bring into my hospital bag a pair of slippers. So the pair of slippers I wear around my hospital room. I have like a bit of germophobia, and I actually have really severe hospital phobia in particular. So I find having both of these help me a lot. So I use slippers in my actual room when I'm walking around my hospital, always with easy access. So these are really easy to put on and off. And then I always have flip-flops that are designated for in my bag. So I don't wear these ones to the hospital. I have them in my bag, and I usually keep these outside the hospital bathroom, and I switch out of my slippers into my flip-flops to go into the bathroom. Again, just for germ issues. I don't know, the bathroom usually freak me out. And I usually wear these in the shower. So these are just pairs of Sanux. They're like waterproof or whatever. So anyways, always keep those in there. A phone charger, super important. I would highly recommend buying a separate phone charger for your hospital bag if you don't have an extra. Do not bring the one that you have like beside your bed you use every night, because you are not going to remember to grab it before you leave. If you have to do that, which I have previously, like I've forgotten to get a different one, leave a note on top of your hospital bag reminding you to grab your phone charger. But I would recommend having a separate one. So there's that. So this is my outfit that I am planning on wearing home. So like leaving the hospital. So I really like the idea of feeling human when I'm leaving the hospital. So wearing clothing that make me feel like I didn't necessarily just give birth and I'm not in like postpartum yuck. So I am bringing jean shorts, but these are super loose fitting jean shorts, so they won't be uncomfortable with me at all. So I'm bringing those because I like the idea of feeling human when I'm leaving. And then just a loose Jackson London tank, loose being ideal, and again, nursing friendly. So that's kind of my personal take home outfit. So that's covering our basic clothing that I am bringing, and this would be planning to stay for within like 24 hours ideally. So then branching out a little bit, I always bring my own towel, always. I hate the hospital towels. They're tiny, they don't absorb anything, and they're not comfortable. So I always bring my own towel for a shower, and so that I have my own. It's getting pretty packed. I would have to repack it. I always bring my own blanket, also for germaphobe issues. I don't like sleeping on their beds, even with clean sheets. It's just a thing I have. So I usually cover my bed with the blanket and kind of tuck myself into it because I have issues that way. I always bring my own pillows, same reasons. The hospital pillows are like plastic, so they're easy to clean, which makes total sense, but I can't sleep on them, so I always bring my own pillow. I also bring my body pillow because I can't sleep without a body pillow, but most people don't need that, so I didn't bring it out to show you guys. But yeah, so for me, my own towel, my own blanket, and my own pillow are all kind of critical and have to be brought. So another thing that I bring is I always bring some snacks. I'm actually gonna grab some Kind Bars is what I'm gonna do, but I love these ones too. Just these Freedom, these are the cookie ones, but whatever. So a pack of snacks that I always keep in there. If in labor you get hungry and you're like with midwives, for example, they'll let you eat. That's never happened to me. I've never wanted to eat during labor. But if you're staying for 24 hours, you don't always want to have to run out to grab something to eat. And if you're just hungry and snacking and freshly nursing, you're going to be hungry and want to snack all the time. So that's good to have something that's comforting. I also always bring Powerade, same reason. I don't always want the apple juice in the hospital or water. And some electrolytes. I always bring Powerade with me. Yeah, like I said, I really will have to repack this. Okay, so pretend that's closed because I'm not going through it properly. An iPad of some form, or something like that if you want to bring your laptop. Another thing that you totally could bring is a camera if you're planning on taking pictures during your birth and immediate postpartum. I'm a birth photographer, so I wouldn't be bringing my own, but I would definitely bring an iPad. Keep in mind, not all hospitals, or at least not all hospitals in BC, have Wi-Fi at this point in time, or free Wi-Fi, which is crazy. But anyways, so I always bring an iPad and like a book to read or magazines or something like that. Keep your hospital occupied. Okay, so this is my toiletry bag. So I'm going to be bringing my nursing pads. If you are a first-time mom, I would recommend starting with the disposable ones because you have no idea how much you're going to be leaking. With my first 3 babies, actually, I leaked so much chronically that I just wouldn't have been feasible to use the reusable ones because I'd just be washing them constantly. So if you're a first-time mom, I'd recommend starting with the reusable ones, and then if you can, switch over or whatever. But anyways, I'm bringing just organic cotton reusable ones. Nipple ointment, huge thing. I've actually never used the Earth Mama one, but I'm really excited to try it. It's up anyways. I would highly recommend bringing some nipple ointment, especially if you're a first timer. You're likely going to have some sore nipples, so definitely worth it. I always bring my own face cloth, same reason, germaphobe type reasons. Also, I don't even know if they give you face cloths in the hospital. I don't remember, but I always bring my own. So that's good to have. Toothbrush and toothpaste, which, just like the phone charger, I'd recommend buying your own, like just buying a spare toothbrush and spare toothpaste to put in your hospital bag, and then you can use it for whatever after, because you're not going to remember to go and grab it last second when you're in labor. It's just not going to happen, and you're going to regret it if you don't have a toothbrush or if someone else is going to grab you one. So, highly recommend that. So I have these awesome samples just from my hairdresser that I'm bringing for my shampoo and conditioner. I, like I said, plan on only staying 24 hours, so I only bring like one each, but you can use these for multiple uses. So just shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. Again, it's mainly just for feeling human. Like, Briley, I didn't even shower in the hospital because I went home after 6 hours, so I just came home and showered. But if you're staying longer than that, you're going to want to shower 100%. And a lot of people, I have a friend that has to shower like immediately after birth. She just doesn't feel okay until then. So definitely bring your shower stuff. Bring quite a few hair scrunchies. You never know, I always bring scrunchies with me. Hairbrush, same thing. I would buy yourself a crappy hairbrush to put in your bag. Same reason. Hand cream, it gets really dry in there. Always be prepared. It's just my motto in life. Deodorant, same thing. Buy your own deodorant, put it in there because you're not going to want to have to go into your hospital bag every day until you have your baby. Lip balm, another huge one. Definitely have lip balm in there. It's just some luxury lip balm. I'm bringing my peppermint halo roller because I know if I get a migraine or anything in the hospital, I'm going to want to have it. Also, just the sake of having a familiar scent from home. So if you're an essential oil person, definitely choose some rollers, etc. that you're going to want to make you feel comfortable. I definitely recommend that. Some as a sample face wash, but just again so I can wash my face if I want to, if I'm staying 24 hours. And then just some So Luxury magnesium oil for afterbirth when you're crampy and gross and feeling all kinds of aches. This stuff is a lifesaver. So one of the things that I did forget, it's not that I forgot, I just don't have it yet, is Depends. I love to have Depend diapers. My doula kind of started doing that when I had Skylar the very beginning, so I've always had them at my disposal because she's great that way. So if your water breaks early on in labor, and so you're going to be laboring with a broken water, you're going to be leaking constantly, and it's so uncomfortable having to constantly change and put pads on and stuff. Just live in a Depend. It's so much easier to just kind of YOLO it. Same with immediately post birth. I actually usually use the Depend first and a massive pad for the first bit, and then I'll switch to the mesh underwear, and then I'll kind of graduate out into the giant granny panty underwear. Highly recommend the Depends. It makes your life so much easier, and it's just a convenience thing, so it's great. Do not bring your own pads. The hospital will provide you with as many as you need, and just live off the hospital ones. You're definitely going to want them for home, for your home postpartum, but I don't ever bring them in my hospital bag because the hospital will provide you with as many as you need. So don't do that. Just YOLO, but do bring your own Depends because they won't give you Depends. So that is my hospital bag, all the things that I need for birth and postpartum. And like I said, I would just put Jay's, a few pairs of underwear, etc. on the top of the bag and move along. Like I said, would normally organize it by what I'm going to need first, but I'm not going to bother for this time. So let's switch over to onto baby's portion. I'm just using original size Fun Design bag. I should be able to fit most of it in there. My pillow and blanket, for example, I would have to carry my other bag. And same with one of the things for baby, a nursing pillow. I mean, not everyone uses a nursing pillow. I find them critical, especially with newborns. So I always bring one. They don't have them in the hospital. You can always just prop hospital pillows if you want, but I would recommend bringing a nursing pillow. So this I also would have to carry because I obviously can't fit it in this. So anyways, one of the first things you're going to want for baby is your own blanket. They do not, or majority of hospitals, I actually don't know if any Canadian hospitals still do, they don't give you a blanket for your baby like they did when we were kids. You got your hostel blanket. They don't do that. In most situations, you gotta bring your blanket. This actually isn't the blanket I would use. The blanket I would use hasn't arrived. So this is what I'm going to use. So that's one of the first things that you want for sure. And in a lot of situations, they'll ask that you give it to them ahead of time so that they can actually wrap baby up for you quickly after birth. I always bring at least 2 swaddle blankets, 2 different kinds. So this is a Muslim, is that how you pronounce it? And then this is a jersey knit from Evergreen. So 2 swaddles, super important. I always swaddle my babies. And even if you don't, they're awesome to kind of wrap baby up in. So 2 swaddle blankets are huge. Another thing you're going to want tons of, I bring tons of receiving blankets. This is 6 of them, just for spit up, boob milk, everything, the whole 9 yards. You're going to want a lot of racine blankets, so that's 6 that I'm going to bring in here. And then I'm also bringing 2 of these like burping cloths, which literally just sleep over for burping, and for, we usually have spit up babies, so I'm going to bring 2 of those as well. So one of the things you want to think about right away is you're going to need a first outfit for baby. So the first thing that baby's going to wear. So I'm using a Kite Baby sleeper. I usually use sleepers for the first outfit because they're easy, they're convenient, they're comfortable. I try in particular for hospital bags and for first outfits to only use materials that are super nice on new baby's skin, like fresh skin like this. So anyways, I'm just using a Kite Baby sleeper, and then I usually bring like 3 sleepers total. Again, this is planning for a 24-hour stay, so I brought 2 of these. Also, we have bigger babies, so we tend to not bring newborn stuff because we tend to have babies that don't fit newborn, but I always bring one. So like this one is a Loved Baby newborn sleeper that's tiny, that probably won't fit one of our babies, but we bring it in case kind of thing. Kennedy wore it like the second she was born, was crammed in, and that's it. And then this is like 0 to 3 by Bambi and Birdie, which is more likely what we'll end up using right away. So then I always bring like 2 outfits and then a take-home outfit. So because of the seasonal change, with it being June, like if I have a baby in June, if I have a baby in July, it's a little bit different, but either way. So I'm bringing one outfit with a long sleeve onesie, so just a Finn and Vince long sleeve, and then with some Jackson Lennon leggings, so that's one outfit, for example. And then I'm bringing another outfit that's a short sleeve, so just like a Jackson Lennon short sleeve, and then some Jackson Lennon leggings, both pretty light, so that I can be prepared for depending on what the weather is. Remember, with babies, you typically want to dress them 1 layer heavier than us anyways with newborns. So those I can kind of swap in and out between poops and spit ups and whatever. And then I always bring extra onesies. So this is like just 2 basic onesies that I'm going to bring as well. 1 long sleeve onesie. So those are just some basics of 3 extra onesies. So to total that up, we have our 3 extra onesies, which are just kind of for emergency, etc. 2 short sleeve, 1 long sleeve because of my season. Then we have 2 outfits. So we have 1 long sleeve onesie with leggings, 1 short sleeve onesie with leggings, and then we have 3 sleepers total, one of them being the first outfit baby will wear, and the other 2 just kind of back up. So I'm going to be bringing, also 1 pair of socks. I have a thing against baby socks. I don't love baby socks, so I'm only bringing 1 pair. Actually, you know what, scratch that. You probably should bring more than that. I just have a thing against baby socks. I'm bringing 1 hat. This is just a Row Kids little adorable hat that matches my robe, which is super cute. Technically babies are always supposed to have some form of hat on, like newborns. I hate hats. I don't really do hats, but I always bring one, so there's a not hat there. So then this is going to be our take-home outfit, ideally. So this is the outfit, you know, you take your cute pictures in your car seat when you're heading home kind of thing. So this is the one that we have chosen for that. It's light, so it can, like, it's not too heavy. And for my season, it should be perfect, because again, baby should be 1 layer heavier. And then a briar bonnet, which will be the hat for take home. I'm just not taking it out of the box right now, but it will be out of the box. Okay, so then other things to keep in mind, pacifiers. So these need to be sterilized. So obviously they're not ready to go, but they need to be sterilized before they go. It depends what you're planning on doing about pacifiers. I am a huge pacifier pusher. Like, I actually push passies on my babies very quickly, because otherwise I end up being the passy, and I have hyperlactation, so that's no good and creates problems. So I'm like a pacifier pusher. So I always bring passies literally to the hospital, and I'm encouraging a pacifier use within a day or so, like really quickly. But that's personal preference, up to you. But I always bring them. I honestly just think those things have with you. If you don't use it, you don't have to use it. I always use Peniton. So I don't actually love Peniton. I don't like the formula of it, to be honest. But for the first couple days, we tend to use it for every diaper change, just because their skin's so new, and kind of exposed to so much that it's just good to kind of layer them up, in my opinion. So we always use that for the first couple days. Past that, I actually don't like it very much. But we always use it. Bringing some Overachiever from K-Pure in case there is a little bit of a diaper rash or anything like that. The Overachiever is amazing. One of the things that I always would bring or recommend bringing is I'm bringing a little tiny packet of cocoa from So Luxury, which, as you guys know, is an all-time fave. Because if you choose to have a hospital bath, which I wouldn't do anyways, now we hold off on our baths for days anyways, but you never know, so bring in case. But if you're someone that's planning on having a hospital bath, they just use Johnson & Johnson's, and I hate Johnson & Johnson, so I wouldn't use it on my babies. So this is what we use on our babies, so most ideal in my opinion is just to bring it. This is just a little tiny little, like a sample pack that's perfect to bring for an hospital. So if for some reason we chose to in hospital bath, we have our own stuff. And then the last thing that I would say is huge to bring is your own wipes. These actually aren't the wipes we use for little babies, but that's all I had for this exact moment. Most hospitals will give you dry wipes, and I actually love dry wipes. We use dry wipes, but a very particular kind of dry wipes. In the hospital, most hospitals at least, or all the hospitals that I've been in, not all, sorry, that's not true. Most, I would say, it's basically just paper towel that's folded, and then you have to wet it and use yourself. Some of them may give you sample packs of wipes. And I think Children's did do that. But anyways, besides the point, a lot of them won't give you proper wipes. And I'm picky with wipes, so I bring your own wipes. But same thing, unless you are like planning on cloth diapering and you're really picky on like only using cloth diapers, I would not bring any diapers to the hospital because they will give you an unlimited supply of diapers while you're there. And if you bring your own, they're going to stop giving them to you. So don't bring diapers at all. They will give you millions. And stock up before you get home because those things are expensive. So yeah, I wouldn't bring diapers unless you're for some reason like really picky on using only one kind or something like that to make you forget. So I also would have to pack this better as well. So that is my overview of my hospital bags. So we have the one big one for me, and then this one for babe, and then like I said, I would have to be carrying like my pillow, my nursing pillow. And I also would have to be carrying my birth ball, because I do bring a birth ball. I think that's everything. I think I got everything this time. But let me know if there's anything else you guys think of, and thanks so much for watching.